Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Katrina Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable's After Dark show. I'm Vanessa Collins, joined by Ted Ings, Katrina Ness, and here we have Jennifer Briggs as well. So thank you so much for joining us today, Jennifer.
Thank you very much for having me. I know I'm really excited to share some new things that I've learned since I last spoke to you guys.
Awesome. We're excited to hear all about it.
Great to see everybody.
I love the hat.
Why, thank you. So, Jennifer, we're getting ready. We have a big event coming up. It's in September. It's our Roaring 20s event. I don't think we have the Eventbrite image yet on here, Vanessa, but it's coming up September 8th through the 11th. It's going to be all virtual. And Katrina, it's a week before the big auto show.
Oh, indeed. It is. So a lot of exciting things coming up for the remainder of the summer and into the fall that we have to look forward to.
Excellent. Larry Sherman, welcome. Larry, are you able to watch us on the regular Facebook stream? Because I'm unable to see it here on my end. So if you give us a comment, a little bit of info on that, appreciate it, Larry. And love the pictures of all the steaks this weekend that you sent. So all good. Jennifer, great to see you. And what's going on in your world? Tell us a little bit about you.
I'm just back from a national competition. So Skills USA is what I wanted to share with you guys and talk about because it was so crazy. So Skills USA is an organization that allows now middle schoolers, high schoolers, and college level students to compete in a number of skilled trades. And a couple of those competitions happen to be maintenance and light repair, which is a high school only competition, and then AST, so auto service technicians and diesel service technicians. I had never heard of this organization, of course, before taking over the college. And I'm going to tell you, as soon as I heard about it, I said, we have to do it, even though I don't know what I'm doing. We need to do it. If we have students who are interested in competing, let's go. And that's what we did. So we at the Auto Diesel Institute of Michigan, we had our first ever Skills USA team this year. And we had about 6 students participating. We had 4 qualify for state competition, 3 placed, and 1 went to nationals, which is where we just came back from. And I am telling you, seeing the number of young technicians, the top in their states competing, had me fired up because Here are all of these students, right? We can't find them in the dealerships. We can't find them in the service department. And there they are. In addition to the competition, they allowed us to do some professional development and training with other instructors throughout. We were there for 10 days. It was insane. And listening to the high school instructors, the hard part, like, we're a private college that's a nonprofit. So we will invest the money in these kinds of competitions, no questions asked, but public high schools can't do that. And so I was talking with some of the other instructors there and just the simplest things. And I'm like, yes, but I know your local dealership would throw $500 to that if that meant they got to put their brand and got to get in front of your students who are their future employees. Yeah. And I got to thinking there in Atlanta, I'm like, well, duh, Jennifer, you didn't know what this was before a year ago. I bet most of your friends who own dealerships don't know what this is either. So that was why I fervently texted you and was like, we got to tell everybody about this.
That is so strong. You know, Jennifer, a few weeks ago, Katrina and Vanessa were with me in New York, and we did a live event like this from the World Trade Center. And the first speaker we had was a technician, Marcos Wanenberg, and he spoke for about 10 or so minutes, and then we had a Q&A with him. And he said there is no technician shortage. He said the industry has treated technicians badly for a long time. And it's in it there. And here's Marco. He came in dressed up as a technician, right?
Love it.
He later took it off and revealed his suit on beneath that. But he said the industry has treated techs badly. And what there is a shortage of knowledge about technician development programs, and not enough dealers taking advantage of that.
Yes, absolutely. There are so many. And I think I shared this the last time I was with you. They're saying Gen Z is the tool belt generation. Like, this generation wants to learn these trades, but we have to support the programs that develop them. And think of all the awesome work we do in our communities and with charities as dealers. And here I learned last week, we have a lot of these high school Skills USA chapters that don't have funding, that don't have the equipment that they need. And I had said to one of the high school teachers during a session, I was like, yeah, but why can't you ask your advisory board? Why can't you go to the local dealership? And the look on his face was like, I don't even know where to start. So if we want that pipeline in our service departments in the dealerships, we're probably going to have to start those conversations with the high schools or the community colleges, or just go to skillsusa.org and see how can we participate. Like, the keynote speaker at Nationals was Mike Rowe, which I mean, Katrina and Vanessa, you guys may not recognize Mike Rowe's name, but Ted, you do, right? He has been actively involved with this organization for a long time. Actually, 3 years ago, he has a huge scholarship program. Last time I was here, I was talking about all the scholarships that are available. One, the Micro Foundation puts out, and they pay. One of the ADI students 3 years ago won a $10,000 scholarship from the Micro Foundation. And he used to have a show called Dirty Jobs for anybody who's watching that might not be familiar. And he was normalizing. Oh, there's Larry. Yep, Dirty Jobs is an awesome show.
Awesome.
But giving exposure to a lot of these great fields where people earn good livings. But like you said, either we look down on them, or we treat them badly, or we disregard. I'm so excited. I'm always excited. I know. We're looking at, and it's been 1 year now. I've had my 1 year anniversary taking over as dean or director of the Auto Diesel Institute. And we are going to have triple the number of students in the building this fall when we start our next cohort from when I got there this summer.
Wow, Jen. Congratulations.
I mean, all I've been doing is going out there and talking about it. With the lack of technician development programs, or the knowledge of where they are, like, that's a huge part. And I know tripling enrollment is a big deal, but until I have 300 technicians in my building, I'm not celebrating the little victory just yet. But just by me going out and talking to students, and I barely made a dent, now look at us. We have triple the number of technicians that we can graduate, and it's going to continue. We have people who want to learn it. Now, there are a ton of high school programs that are accredited by ASE, and those are maintenance and light repair programs, right? Those are going to be your C-Techs. At the Auto Diesel Institute, we run a master level ASE accredited program, so we're training A-Techs. But I think the disconnect, and again, I can't solve the entire shortage. I can just take a little bite out of it, but I can share what I'm learning with your audience, and then maybe we can make a huge difference across the country. Because if we just get to these students, and I'm excited that Skills now has expanded Skills USA into middle schools, because that was not an area they were before. Because if you think about it, hi, Jennifer. If you think about it, a lot of times you get to the 10th grade, and maybe Vanessa and Katrina could kind of talk to us about it, but you guys probably are laser focused on what you wanted to do in college. But that's when the counselors start talking to you. What are you going to do after high school?
Right.
Well, if these students don't know that they could make a 6-figure income as a technician. They probably, and a lot of the kids that are successful in this program don't think they're college material. They are tactical learners instead of regular classroom learners, but they're out there. And if we can just start engaging, I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't the only one. This is the third laptop I was getting logged in with.
That's funny.
Who knows? I left town for 10 days. Who knows what? There she is. It's just, I just was so fired up because I'm like, look at this. And there were 150 competitors just in the automotive technologies competitions. Because it's not just the United States proper, all of the territories also.
I get the idea. Okay.
No.
Vanessa, the first place my brain goes, and I'll ask Jennifer when she comes back in, is I'm thinking of Lithia, how they acquire techs and what pipeline they use. That'll be interesting for you to find out, as you get rolling with the DART program. And congratulations to you. So Mike Cavanaugh had a great post on LinkedIn today about the DART program, and you'll be representing both Northwood and Lithia. If you don't mind, tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So yeah, as a Northwood alum, of course, I'm staying in the automotive space and I'm going to Lithia and Driveway upon graduation. And so I'm going to a really cool part of the company where it's kind of, I get it's in the corporate side, but I also get to experience the retail component as well. So I'll be doing performance analyst stuff in the Texas region. Lithia loves the Fixed Ops Roundtable, vice versa. So I'm staying with the Fixed Ops Roundtable as well. And there's a lot of great synergies there. So I actually just went down to the Suburban Collection today and worked with some of the DART interns there and talked with them about their experiences and helped to get some exposure for the DART internship because it is really such a great internship. And there are experiences with Lithia on both retail and corporate. So
the DART internship, Vanessa, what does that entail?
So the DART internship in a dealership is a rotational internship. And so they get to experience sales, service, finance, and really all the above. So they get to learn from the best of the best and experience the different departments. And it gives them a better idea on where they want to go for, either their next internship or post-grad. And it just helps give them an idea of where they fit best in a dealership. So
that's really cool. They get to rotate through all of the departments. That's fun.
Which is super cool. And they also have the same opportunities for their corporate level too. So they have DART internships and DART positions for example, their marketing department, where you get to experience different positions within their marketing department or HR. And so you kind of get to find where you fit best. And it really helps with retention too, because you're not going into a job that you don't like and you're stuck there. It's like you get to shuffle into the next position and see if you're best there. So it's actually a great concept.
That is very cool. Oh, and it would be awesome if they could rotate some technicians through there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know I've had lots of conversations with the team at Lithia as I'm trying to navigate my way through. We've invited them for the advisory board and to come to different events. But what was really interesting is their fixed ops director for this region is out of Wyoming. And because they were like, well, is he a little too far to join your advisory board, Jennifer? And I was like, Zoom works from anywhere. So he doesn't physically have to show up. No. We just want his brain. And one of the things that I loved in my meetings with Lithia and someone had commented a minute ago that it starts at home. So I do want to circle back to that after we talk about Lithia. They actually have 5 ladders for their service technicians. So often you're going to start and you have no idea where you're going, right? There are or some organizations might have 1 or 2 career paths for a technician, right? Work your way up. You can become a shop foreman, you can become a service manager. But I was very impressed with Lithia that once they get them, They are invested into continuing the training and investing in that tech. And I'll tell you guys, that's one of the things I'm talking to my students about. We just had 23 students graduate at the end of May. And I'm telling them, as you're getting out here, you got to ask them, how are you going to continually invest in my training? What other things am I going to get as I join your team? That's how you're going to separate, right, the great operators from the ones that are not necessarily going to be a good home. And we might lose these technicians to aviation or marine, or, who knows where they might go, because these skills are very transferable, right? There's a lot of similarities. There are some differences, but similarities. And thank you for putting that back up there, Dave. You are 100% correct. A lot of this discussion should start at home. It should most certainly start at home with families talking to their students about it. And I'm just in the mitten, right, in education for 1 year now. And I can tell you, in the conversations I'm having with high schoolers, they're not talking about these things at home. They're not. You don't do great in English and history, so I guess you better go to work in a factory, or you better start figuring out, what's your drop shipping company going to be? Are you going to be an influencer? Because if you can't go to college, then what avenue do you have? And some of the groups here, like the Alcera group here in Michigan, I'm going to tell you, they have got it down when it comes to recruiting, and they are on our advisory board. Okay. But their fixed ops director, he cracks me up. He's like, I don't need any technicians. We're growing them ourselves. Yeah. But you know what? At the Junior Achievement Office in Detroit, who has a giant booth? Alcera, with all the different jobs. They're talking to these students while they're in high school about the opportunities. Wow. So I do agree with Dave that it should start happening at home. Those conversations definitely should. But if their parents don't view being a mechanic as a worthwhile career, conversation, if it is happening, is probably not going to go our way. I think I was, one of the rare parents. I was so excited when my son called me and said, I want to learn how to be a service technician.
Yes.
You will never be without a job. That is a great choice. But it's also the same reason I'm actively working with homeschool networks, because those homeschool families will give the trades more of a chance than what I see happen in public schools. Oh, yes. Wow. 8% of my students this year are homeschool students. So 8% of my college service technician students came from homeschools, and I will grow that number. I may have offered my campus as a place for them to meet, because a few of our homeschool families, their pods have gotten so big, they can't meet anywhere. So I'm like, I can house a ton of people, bring all of those families here so they can see. Yeah.
But by the way, Jennifer, Dave Buckshaw, who you see is very active in the chat, is also in Michigan. He was with us 2 weeks ago at the Northwood event, the Fixed Ops Day at the tank camp. And Dave has a company that does service lane technology worldwide. And he's right in Michigan.
You're just gonna have to swing through Owasso. He might have passed through there on his way to Northwood. I know you guys were doing your camp right as I was leaving for nationals.
Yes.
And it was, I'm really sad I didn't get to be there last year. It was my very first week at the Auto Diesel Institute, was last year's full tank. So I was like, no, I'm already committed. I gotta go. I'm going to go teach some kids how to shoot TV commercials. I'll be back. But that's actually when I got the conversation started with Lithia, because Dane was at the Full Tank Auto Camp. So I'm like, hey, guess what I did? Not really sure. Then I didn't know what I'd gotten myself into. But man, this has been so much fun. And I was so fired up after seeing all of these, top in the country, these students. And mind you, these are not just, my student is barely 18 years old that went to nationals, But there were some competitors in the college competition. I don't want to guess people's ages, but I mean, gray beards. One guy was, you couldn't go to college at any age. So what I'm saying is there are young people and also some career changers,
yes, of course,
that are involved in this.
Of course.
That's so exciting.
And I met with the president of the Mike Cooley, the ASC Education Foundation. Again, while I was there at Nationals, I hadn't seen him since NADA. And when I told him that I'm looking at building an MLR program at night for adult learners who want to learn to be service technicians, his eyes, he was like, well, what do you need? I was like, well, I need you to come help me convince some of our college executives that that's the right way to go.
Hey, Jennifer, while we're talking, what is the best way for people to contact you and reach out for more? And I'll ask Vanessa if you wouldn't mind putting it up in a banner while we're talking here. So
you can text me at 517-366-0219. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Facebook. I'm a really easy person to find. Just you could type my name into Google search and my cell phone number will pop up, but you do need to add automotive because Jennifer Briggs is a common name. But if you Google search Jennifer Briggs Automotive, my phone number will pop up. And shoot me a text message. Hey, this is so-and-so, and I will call you back just as soon as I can, or send me a LinkedIn message or a Facebook message, or come to the Auto Diesel Institute's Google business profile, and you can message us through there too. I mean, honestly, if you want to learn more, just send a smoke signal, man. I'm excited to tell everybody about this. As I learn more, I will share it. You said to me the last time, like, where have you been? I'm like, I've been trying to learn this.
I know.
Wow.
And what I learn, I'm happy to share, because my entire goal for taking this position at the college is to make a difference and try to make a dent in this technician shortage, whether it's a shortage because there aren't enough bodies, or it's a shortage because, we haven't made it well known as far as what's going on in the industry and the opportunities that are available. And and I believe it's the Premier Automotive Group, and you may have had him on your show on the Roundtable at some point in time, and I don't know his name because I've been all busy. But someone told me that one of the managing partners with the Premier Automotive Group is in the process of rolling out a program specifically for technicians on how to earn six figures in 6 years.
Wow.
And as soon as I can follow up with the person who told me about it and get in contact, because he's like, he'll have you sign NDAs. I'm like, man, I'll sign any non-disclosure he wants. I just want to be able to show this to young people and career changers so they can see how quickly they can have that kind of income doing what they love, like wrenching on cars. It is amazing. And my faith has been restored, or my hope maybe, after being there at Nationals. Hi, Robert. To see all of those students. And again, there was just 3 different competitions around the auto service technologies, but over 50 students in each. So 150 of the top students that are learning to be technicians to watch that and just be an honor. I will tell you, every OEM was there. Every OEM was there. Every single one. They're either volunteering their time helping judge. They all had booths. There was a huge expo, which is great for me as a dean because I have some OEM training programs and learning management systems that I want to get access to for my students. So like I met with Hyundai, and I met with Nissan and Honda and Toyota. Ford, we already have a great partnership with. General Motors is now doing a very similar program to the Ford ACE program. These OEMs they know about skills, and they are investing and working with the high schools and the colleges. And so I just want to share what I've learned with the audience, because even if only 15 dealers after this broadcast pick up the phone or go to skillsusa.org and say, hey, does my local high school have a chapter? that's going to be huge. And we can just start that ripple and keep it going.
So, Katrina, for the roundtable that's coming up in September, let's put a panel together with Jennifer and with some of our dealers like Miggs, who's in the chat right now, Sean Kingry. They're all part of dealer groups, medium and large, okay? And let's get a conversation going at the roundtable. And then, Jennifer, the week after that is the Northwood International Auto Show, and that's the CAM Summit. And I really think you need to be there at that because that'll help get the word out. There'll be some great speakers, plus yourself, and I think we'd love to have you on that agenda.
I would love to do it. Like I said, now that I'm still learning things. I'm 1 year into higher ed, but now that I really feel like I have my footing at least, I'm ready. I am ready to start figuring out how we pull these strings. Who do we connect? What can we do? I have 4 high school presentations from one in a high school in Texas. These are all high schools that I have had met at nationals. And after talking with them, they were like, well, one guy, I think he was just amazed. He's like, wait, you run an automotive mechanic training program? And he's looking at me. It
Diesel.
was, yeah. I'm like, I do auto and diesel. Buddy. But it was too funny because he was looking at me, and it was a regular, like a professional development class day. So I'm in glam attire, and he was like, no, for real, I do. And we're ASC master level accredited. So I have a school in Virginia, a school in Alabama, one in Texas. My high school debate coach was at Skills USA Nationals. She sits on the board for the VOTEC Center at my high school. And she was there with her collision technology teacher and her welding teacher because they were competing. By the way, there's a collision competition too, if you're looking to staff in your body shop. And so she was, after I declined to move back to Kansas and take over and run their program, then she had asked, well, maybe you could talk to our students.
Vanessa, we get David Romer involved on the collision side too, I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Remember David Romer? He was up in New York as well, in New Orleans.
Of course, that's a perfect connection.
That's a great connection for Jennifer and for David. That'd be great.
And it's even harder for collision because so many high schools and colleges, and even Baker College that I'm a part of, they used to have 4 campuses that taught collision, and now there are 0. Right, and a lot of high school programs are dwindling down. I would say less than 3% of the high school teachers I've met this year are collision teachers. So getting our collision managers and our fixed ops directors connected with an organization where there is training, there are students that are interested. Man, if they're competing for free tools, surely they're going to come and work for the paycheck you've got to give them, because all of the prizes at the contest are tools. So they go for a lot of reasons to compete, but free, $5,000 worth of tools. And we didn't place at nationals, so I don't know the dollar value of the prizes. I'm guessing because at state, second place was $1,500 worth of free tools, $2,000 for first. So I got to imagine nationals was even more. We didn't place this year.
So guys, this is going to get bigger. This is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So Jennifer, if you wouldn't mind, let's we will put some of these panels together. We're going to record them before September, most likely in August. Okay. Early first 2 weeks of August. And we'll get with you, we'll put topics together, and we'll get the right people on there, and this is going to continue to grow.
Should I get someone from the Skills USA organization to join us?
If you think we should, and if you can, yes.
That could be good.
I mean, there's going to be a different director in every state, but I mean, it might be one. I mean, because that's all of the things out there. And again, there are tons of contests, not just auto. There's a graphic design contest. There's a leadership contest. There was even a job interview contest. You could go to nationals if you're really good at a job interview. But these are all trades that we're asking. We ask our technicians to have soft skills, right? But how are they going to learn that in just a technical program? We have to layer those things in. So But I mean, I don't think I'm not embedded enough that I could ask Mike Rowe to join us. You have to give me a couple more years for that, and then I'll see if I can swing getting Mr. Rowe to join us.
He's been recommended to be on the roundtable a couple times, so we might have it in there. Okay, so
well, if you got that in, man, right off the heels of his keynote session at Skills USA Nationals, it'd be a good time to. Hello, Mr. Rowe. He's retired. He needs something to do now.
Give him something to do. It's for the good of the industry too. Yeah.
There you go. Awesome.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you so much.
I'm really grateful that you guys made time to let me come in here and get excited and talk about this today.
Oh, by all means, absolutely. And you know what? I do have that visual ready, Vanessa. It's right here. It's the Fixed Ops Roundtable, and there it is. This is the event coming up in September the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's our virtual event, and it'll be the Roaring 20s, and a lot of folks are going to be dressed up, and we hope you do too. And again, that's going to probably be one of our all-time big events. So Roaring 20s, the second swing, and look forward to that. It'll be here before we know it in September. So all good.
Awesome.
All right, Jennifer, Briggs, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Well, thank you guys. And I'm going to keep learning and finding resources for us to find these technicians and get them into the service department. So,
all right. A lot more of Jennifer coming up, everybody. So we'll see you Wednesday night.
Thanks.